Hey everybody, it's GauntletX and welcome back to some more Jumpstart Historic Horizons, the format with some sweet reprints new to Arena from Modern Horizons 2, and some brand new cards exclusive to Arena. So some really great cards to add to your collection in this set, and a pretty fun format all around. Let's just hop into this and see what sick packs we get this time around. Well, I'm not sure if the pack distribution's working correctly right now because I did get two Planeswalker packs in my first Jumpstart event, and now I'm getting another one. Teyo Aegis Adept, one of the brand new exclusive to Arena Planeswalkers, because this has exclusive to Arena mechanics. The +1 ability perpetually has some creatures at base power become equal to its toughness. Perpetually means just for the rest of the game. If it gets bounced back to the hand, it still has that. If it gets put into the graveyard, it still has that when you resurrect it. Stuff like that. Things that would be really hard to track in a paper game of Magic. And there's also a secondary mechanic on the -2, conjure a card. That basically means just put a copy of that card into your hand. I believe usually you can like right click on the cards to see what the card that they'll conjure does, but I'm not sure what Lumbering Light Shield does here, and I can't right click and figure out. But either way, I'm going to take the brand new Planeswalker that is exclusive to Arena, Teyo Aegis Adept. We're just going to take every Planeswalker pack that we see for the start of these Jumpstart videos. I did take Davriel and Fraley's the first time around, so if you haven't seen that, definitely check it out. Ooh, a blue-white artifact deck. Get in here. I absolutely love artifact synergies and artifact decks, and if there's a blue-white artifact deck, I'm even more excited for it because my favorite artifacts were from Esper on Shards of Alara, the colored artifacts, just that filigree type stuff like you see on the Chrome Courier here, just beautiful artwork there, really cool. Really cool to see colored artifacts and just artifact tribal in general. So I'm going to take In the Machine here just because it is the deck that I would have the most fun with. There's also Scaled Up, which is a fun +1/+1 counter Hydra deck, and Merfolk, which does have that mythic rare Sphylan of Sea and Sky, which is really cool for Merfolk lovers. But I'm not a Merfolk lover, I'm an artifact lover. Let's play some Teyo in the Machine here. And as always in the Historic Brawl, I tend to just hop right into the gameplay, don't even look at the deck, so that I'm excited when I see what cool rares and stuff I have opened up, because as you can see from that Into the Machine, it just showed a preview of one of the commons, so I have no idea what rare I got in our artifact deck here. So very excited here, and we do get a turn 4 Teyo with this hand, so I'm absolutely going to keep it, and we'll see how this deck runs here. It's going to be pretty cool. So our opponent starts off with an Angel, Segovian Angel, a 1-mana, 1/1 flying vigilance. Pretty efficient there. I think I'll play the Light Shield here, just make the most of my mana, play the biggest card I can for the turn, rather than play the Chrome Courier. And the Lumbering Light Shield also makes them reveal a card at random and make it cost 1 more to cast. So now this Paradise Druid that they had costs 3 mana instead of 2. So we got really lucky on the hit there, because the Paradise Druid is the kind of card you want to play on turn 2 to add more mana to speed up your plays, and now we had to force them to play it turn 3, but they did have a Sky Shroud lookout here for turn 2 instead. Seek an Elf card from their deck, throw it into their hand. And Seek, of course, is to search for one at random and toss it in their hand. And because it's digital only, they don't have to reveal it either. Ooh, we got Nettle Cyst, the really powerful living weapon here, making your stuff just massive. Or we have Glass Casket for removal. They just have 1/1s out right now. I'm going to take the Nettle Cyst. I don't think I need that removal. Nettle Cyst is just a really powerful kind of bomb artifact here. +1/+1 for each artifact and enchantment you control, and it comes with a germ attached to this, so just by itself it becomes a big creature, and once that germ dies, you can just move this equipment around wherever you want, so we could like throw it on our flyer here for a great time. Super good card there. And because of that, I'm not going to trade for the Angel. I was considering trading if I didn't have a card like Nettle Cyst here, just because we'd be trading a 1/1 flyer here for a 1/1 flying vigilance. So that's a decent trade on board. But now we want to keep as many artifacts as we can on the field, especially because we can throw this equipment onto our flyer to make it big enough to block theirs without dying. So what does Teyo even do here? Just makes our stuff... Yeah, turns our light shield into a 4/4 permanently. Conjures more light shields. Or, if we get to the ultimate... Every end step, we get one of our white creatures from the grave back to the field. That is really good. Yeah, Teyo is sweet here. We're probably just going to use that +1, turn our light shield into a 4/4 and get swinging with that. And if they hit Teyo here, it's not even that bad because Teyo is going to be at 5 loyalty after a +1. So they can't really kill Teyo on the crackback. Unless they kill our Chrome Courier. So it's possible that our opponent has a Planeswalker as well. They could have Freyalise in the green, because we do see some elf stuff. I have seen Skyshroud Lookout and Paradise Druid in the Freyalise deck when I chose it in the last video. So I wouldn't be surprised if our opponent's on a Freyalise deck here. So they are going for the kill on Teyo. It doesn't even kill unless they have a pump spell here. I think I will trade for the 2/1, so Teyo only takes 2 damage here. Even though I have that Nettle Cyst, I think Teyo is just an even bigger threat throughout this game. Skyshroud Ambush to have it fight, and they draw a card. Okay, and the concession right after that, so I'm guessing that isn't exactly what they wanted to do. Because then they ended up just using a fight spell for something that was already going to kill each other, like they were already going to fight each other. So that was a really weird use of the Skyshroud Ambush, and I guess not exactly what they were intending. Maybe they thought it was one of the spells where their creature deals damage, but does not receive damage back. But this is a fight spell, so both of the creatures will fight each other exactly as they would, basically, as they would have in combat there on the block. So basically just use that for nothing, and I guess just the scoop after that, because Teyo's not going to die, and they accidentally kind of 2-for-1 themselves there. But at least the fight spell draws a card, so it wasn't that terrible. It's a little bit of a weird game there. Let's see what we got for our first reward. You do get a reward for your first 2 wins in the format, and you play absolutely as much as you want, no matter how many times you win or lose. So a really fun casual format for that. There's absolutely no pressure to play well, because you can play endlessly until you get those 2 wins. We do get a Mist Syndicate Naga, a really fun ninja here. With ninjutsu as well. 3 mana for a 3/1. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, create a token that is a copy of it. So really fun card. I wouldn't be surprised if this actually does see some play, at least in Historic Brawl, once Kamigawa Neon Dynasty comes out early next year. That is the Return to Kamigawa set, but it's set in a futuristic, cyberpunky version of Kamigawa. That being said, Mark Rosewater has said that it is still very much a return to Kamigawa for fans of that block, and that is where ninjutsu first appeared, and it's an incredibly popular mechanic from that block, very well loved, to the point where they've brought it back multiple times, which is not an easy task at all, because it's such a specific keyword, ninjutsu, that you really can't throw it into just any set. It's only really the sets that have lore from all of the different planes that they're allowed to throw it into, and they've still brought it back multiple times. So I'd be incredibly surprised not to see some ninjutsu cards, ninjutsu tribal and stuff, in Kamigawa Neon Dynasty next year. So that is a card that is likely to go up a lot in value at that time, in terms of just like playability for at least Historic Brawl, because we'll probably get a Ninja Commander or 2. Well, I'll keep this hand. We've got both of our colors and a few options. There's like a removal spell here, some 1/1s, and some defenders. Rock Egg and Wall of 1,000 Cuts. Definitely seems like the Teyo deck is a lot of defenders, so that once you draw your Teyo, you can make those defenders able to attack. And very beefy attackers as that. We do have a Core Skyfisher here, which is a really nice card. I don't know if I want to slam that down turn 2, but this is a really fun card to have on Arena. If they bring Pauper back on Arena, that's going to be an all-star. This card is great in Pauper, or has been in the past. I guess I haven't played I haven't played full-on Pauper in quite a while, but this is going to combo really well with, at the very least, our Cogworker's Puzzle Knot to just get another 1/1 servo off that enter the battlefield trigger. The decks that I've played in the past that make great use of the core Skyfisher were like red-white decks in Pauper that would have a lot of artifacts like enter the battlefield and draw a card, or enter the battlefield, pick up a land from your deck. So you just redo those enter the battlefield effects and have a lot of fun that way. They can make me discard a card here, but I'm not that worried. I'm not really in love with any of my cards in hand right now. So if they want to spend their mana on that, that's fine with me. Just get that red off the board and not have to deal with it later when we have less cards in hand. So I think I just discard an island here, because I do need double white for the wall eventually. And there's the second blue anyway. So here, if I play the Skyfisher, I do have a 2/3 flyer, so I can block that Valkyrie until they play 2 more Angels. Then it'll be too big for me. I can make its base power 0, but having a base power 0 doesn't matter when you have a bunch of +1/+1 counters on you, so we're definitely not removing it here. Yeah, let's just pick up the Cogworker's Puzzle Knot here. And now we have a blocker. So I could cycle the Sandbar, but since I have a 5 mana card in hand, I'm not going to do that. And they do make me discard a card here. I might just discard the Puzzle Knot. The Puzzle Knot's 2 1/1s on the ground, and they have exclusively flyers right now. So I think I'm okay getting rid of that. A lot of discard here. We saw a lot of discard in the Davriel deck in our first playthrough of this event, so they could have Davriel over there. Again, not super worried. We have a Planeswalker of our own in our deck, so we can fight toe-to-toe with them. It does seem like the Planeswalker packs are weirdly common here. I don't think I've played a single game where I didn't expect somebody to have a Planeswalker. There's that Nettle Cyst again, but we've only got 1 artifact right now, so it's not incredibly impressive. It's just okay. Just a 1/1 for now. We're taking 2 damage in the sky every turn. It's a pretty slow clock, but it is some pressure, because we just got no way to block it. Oh, wow. Sarah the Benevolent out of their Angel deck there, so I guess it's a Sarah the Benevolent deck. That is really bad. That's actually a very, very powerful Planeswalker. This was pushed because it was in one of the Modern Horizon sets, rather than just one of the Arena exclusive Planeswalkers, so this just creates Sarah Angel tokens, 4/4 flying Vigilant tokens. I'm surprised they went for the +2 there, rather than just making a flyer, but I mean, they do have 2 flyers out, so they get some extra damage in that way. I kind of think I need the Flying Defender here over the 0/3s on the ground. So we'll get a 3/5 Flying Defender. That can block their flyers here. It can even block the 4/4 flyers, but not if they make a 4/4 flyer this turn and then buff it next turn. Then I won't block well. Angel Heart Protector. So they do give a creature indestructible this turn. But yeah, still don't have a great attack. They could have attacked with both just to get in for 2 damage, because I couldn't kill anything there, but I suppose they've decided that is not worth it. Costs 2 mana to equip this, right? Yeah, 2 mana to equip the Nettle Cyst. So we'll throw that onto our Wall of 1,000 Cuts. We've got multiple baffling defenses, so I guess we can turn their first couple Angels into 0/4 flying Vigilance creatures instead. So now they get the Sarah the Benevolent emblem, so as long as they control a creature, we can only put them down to 1 life. So if we're going to win this game, we're going to have to get rid of all of their creatures. I'm very happy to have this little token here now that they've cast a Gourmand. It does look like a double Planeswalker deck from our opponents. Sarah the Benevolent and Davriel is what I would expect, because I'm recognizing all of these black cards from our Davriel deck. Alright, we can turn our Wall of 1,000 Cuts into basically an 8/8 flyer here. They have 5, 6, 7 power. So if we do that and attack with it this turn, we pretty much just kill Sarah. But it does require 3 mana to untap it, so I won't be able to untap here, so I'll take 5, 6, 7. That's okay. I can go to 4 life here and then just block Gourmand next time. It is taking a lot of damage, but I do really want to kill Sarah before they start buffing their flyers again, or creating more vigilant flyers. So at least we kill the youthful Valkyrie here, kill one of the flyers. If they buff the flyers now, we take 6, 7, 8. And that's the only option they have here. They can't use the -3 or -6 on their current loyalty. So we're going to take 8 damage here, send our wall in. This is a pretty fun deck, Teyo just sending in a gigantic wall of flying swords. Pretty funny, flavorfully. We're going to start attacking with an egg, just roll the egg into him. Just like a Goron. We don't have the mana to untap here, unfortunately. But once we do, that'll be fantastic. Barbed Spike. So 2 mana for a 2/1 flyer, and then we can move the equipment around later, and then it's just a 1/1 flyer. Really nice card. Fun little artifact card there. Puts 2 more artifacts on the board as well, which is really good with the Nettle Cyst. Yeah, and I'm going to do that. Now the Wall of 1,000 Cuts is an 11/11 essentially. As much as I'd love to be able to untap this, I still really want to attack, force them to chump block if they want to keep Sarah around. Because if they don't chump block, I'm essentially killing a 4/4 flyer by stopping them from using the -3 effect. And if they do chump block, I'm killing a 1/3 flyer, which is okay. As long as I'm killing one of their flyers here. So they're going to go aggressive here. They're going to let Sarah die to try to kill us with the flyers this turn, probably. We're definitely going to Baffling Defenses the Gorman to turn it into a 0/5. And then we'll just chump block Fel Spectre here. Or I guess we can take 1 damage. Just defenses the Gormand and then defenses the Sarah Angel. And then we just have the best flyer on board, plus we can untap it. Oh, there's Teyo. I can cast Teyo, but then I don't have the mana to untap the wall, which is pretty big. I don't think I'm casting Teyo here. I think I'm holding up the mana to untap the wall, and I forgot to spend the 1 mana to be able to attack with it this turn, so I guess I am casting Teyo. Because the wall's already untapped.
If we can fortify the line, we'll outlast.
Well, at least by casting Teyo, I no longer have to spend the 1 mana to keep attacking with the wall. It can just keep doing it. Because of the +1 effect. Okay, so we have 6 mana now. We can spend the 3 on the untap. Pick up a Lumbering Light Shield here, conjure that onto the board. Make their Glorious Enforcer even more expensive. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. That's going to cost 8 now, so they need another land. But that is terrifying. At the beginning of each combat, that gets double strike. So big old double striking lifelinker. Pretty terrifying, so I'm definitely keeping the Baffling Defenses for that. But here we just keep chipping in with the wall and untapping it, and we've got a really great board state. I guess I can surprise untap, because that's not a sorcery speed effect. Just do it whenever. Just got to make sure to remember to do it right after they declare attacks. Alright, we might have just got him here. Yeah, I mean, we know what's in their hand, so we did just get him. Heckin' bamboozled. Kill that, and take 1. I could go really safe and turn the Spectre into a 0 power here, but still want to keep that for the double striker. Ooh, gain a life here is really good. Conjure another Light Shield to keep them off of casting that card, actually. Make it cost another 1 more. Attack with the wall again, holding up Baffling Defenses. I should have put this Barbed Spike onto the wall there, because it would have just been lethal if they didn't block. Or I guess it wouldn't, because then it would be 12 toughness, or 12 power, 15 toughness, but I'm dealing damage equal to my toughness, so any additional power actually doesn't matter. Guess I turn one of these into a 4/4 attacker. I don't really want to attack on the ground, though. Because if I attack on the ground... Okay, they're just gonna... Oh yeah, I need to kill all their creatures. Ooh, yeah, we need to find a way to do that because of the emblem. Well, then. This is going to be interesting. I was going to say, if I attack on the ground and they trade with the Manor Guardian, they could find a way to make me discard cards. If they find a way to make me discard cards, then I lose more life because of Fell Spectre. Actually, I have Hexproof because of Teyo the Shield Mage, so I kind of just sit behind all my walls here. What happens if I get the Teyo ultimate? Return a bunch of white creatures from grave to battlefield over and over? Return Skyfisher. Keep doing a lot of stuff. I don't know if I have an out to their emblem, but I guess we'll find out eventually. Kind of just sit here and hold up defenses then, because we can't damage them. I completely forgot about the Serad the Benevolent emblem. That is a huge deal here. So there's a 2-1. They give one of their cards in hand lifelink, but they don't have any in hand, so we're good. It's probably actually better to move this Nettlecyst to the token, so that I have multiple flyers that are big enough to block well here. This is a very smart attack from our opponent, because they want to get that death trigger, so they can potentially draw like a Burglar Rat that makes me discard a card, and then I lose some life. But Burglar Rat does target me, I believe. If they draw something that says like each opponent discards a card, they can still get me. But if it's target opponent, they can't target me. So this just turns into a big creature on the ground. That's fine. We've got massive blockers. Icy Manipulator. We can tap down their stuff. How many cards do they have in deck? They have 17. We have 17. They'll mill out slightly before us. So we can try to go for the mill option here. We do have an Icy Manipulator to keep things tapped. I guess we're probably trying to go for the mill option.
You're stronger than you know.
So I don't want to cast anything that draws a card, because then I'll lose the game to mill. I can't win the game to combat damage. I think I do want to move the Nettlecyst to the token, so I have multiple relevant flying blockers here. I mean, because this already just with the Gauntlets of Light is such a big buff blocker. So now we have 2 in the sky, tons on the ground. Stalwart Valkyrie, 3/2 flyer. If they attack with their double striker, I do have to trade here, so I don't love that. There's no way I'm going to be able to kill all their creatures, because they can just keep choosing never to block with these random ground creatures, so even if I kill this in the sky, it's not like I'm going to get to a point where I can kill everything on the ground. So we'll just keep things under control as best we can and hope that eventually they mill out, I suppose.
I'll help keep your balance.
Wingsteed Trainer, when it enters the battlefield or attacks, conjure a Stormfront Pegasus. Don't mind if I do. I guess turn the 2/3 into a 3/3. So we can get the Teyo ultimate. Not that it really matters. We have a core Skyfisher in grave, and that's it. Well, they've got 3 flyers now, so we're going to have to start Icy Manipulating down the 3/2 flyer, because we only have 2 flying blockers. Actually, no, we have Stormfront Pegasus. We're still good. We have 3 flying blockers. Maybe I start holding on to these lands in case they draw any discard spells, but with Teyo the Shield Mage out, I'm safe to discard. Or safe against discard.
Who needs a sword anyway?
If they draw anything that makes each opponent discard a card, I suppose I could just discard the island now and keep baffling defenses. Again, we don't need to Ice Manipulate or anything here, because we have 3 flying blockers for their 3 flying attackers. Thraben Inspector. As much as I do love value, I'm not going to draw the card off that, because then I'll mill out before them. I want them to mill out before me. Let's get an emblem that brings back a white creature from my grave every turn, and more importantly, gains a bunch of life every time I do that. We only have one white creature in the grave, but it's still better than the +1. The +1's doing nothing for us here. Maybe it'd be better to just make another 4/4 on the ground, but another flyer seems pretty good to me. And I'd like to actually return the Thraben Inspector to hand so I can get another clue token. Not because I want to draw the card, but because it'll be another artifact to give +1/+1 with. I guess I could return the Wingsteed Trainer instead. That would have been better, because then recasting the Wingsteed Trainer, we'd get a nice flying blocker again. That's probably better than having our Nettlecyst get another +1/+1, which was the idea I was going for there. Ooh, a lifelink. Arcbound Mouser. Even if they can't reduce their life total less than 1, we can still gain some life off that, I believe. Yeah, damage that would reduce their life total to less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead, so it still is dealt. It just doesn't reduce it. So we can throw our Nettlecyst onto our lifelinker, attack in, pass turn, and then just keep... or attack in, then move it back to the flyer, and just keep doing that. To gain a bunch of life here. Pacifism on the big wall. It's not great for us. It's not great for us, but with Icy Manipulator, and then especially with our lifelinker, we've still got a firm control over this game, I think. We're in the driver's seat here. I mean, we don't have any way to kill them outside of hoping that they don't have any way to stop themselves from milling. But we certainly have ways to not die. So let's grab our Nettlecyst, throw it on the lifelinker. Now we got 11/11 lifelink coming in here to gain a bunch of life. And we'll throw it back onto the flyer when we need it. And because I can cast my stuff from my grave, do I just... Yeah, I attack with the thing that conjures out a flyer as well, because it'll just come back from my grave if it dies. So I might as well just keep conjuring more flyers to block with. There's no downside. Alright, and I still gained the 11. Very nice. Now we'll move that Nettlecyst over to one of the flyers for blocks. And get this light shield for fun. I guess I'm not really playing around discard here because I want to have the 2 mana up for defenses in case something crazy happens. Turn this 1/4 into a 4/4.
I'll help keep your balance.
Anointer of Valor. Whenever a creature attacks, they can pay 3 to put a +1/+1 counter on it. But our board is still way better than theirs, so they still can't really attack in and trigger that at all. All right. Get this Nettlecyst onto the lifelinker. Do that whole dealio again. I forgot to attack with the Pegasus Conjurer. This is such an insane game where we both have a Planeswalker emblem out that's making things so weird. To where I don't attack to try to kill him, I just attack to gain life, but then I should also be attacking with my tiny little 3/3. Just so I can get more flying tokens. Because even if it dies, I can bring it back from my grave with my emblem. Such a crazy game here. This Jumpstart has been an absolute blast in the gameplay. Just crazy stuff all around. Ooh, Filigree Attendant. Power equals the number of artifacts I control. That's a big old flyer. They're already at 1, which is as low as we can get them, so doesn't matter a boatload. Alright, Nettlecyst. Back to the lifelinker. And this time, let's actually conjure a Pegasus. Ooh, they could put counters on our creatures if they want. Interesting. I don't believe they want to do that, but they could. Gain a bunch of life, cast another flyer. Slap the Nettle Cyst onto it. I guess I'm not leaving up the mana for the battling defenses, or baffling defenses, because I cast the Attendant here, but that's okay. We're at 41 life now. So, we're safe. Oh my lord, Angelic Exaltation actually lets them have active attacks here. They're probably going to attack with their own lifelinker now, although their life total's pretty much completely irrelevant. I'm never going to be able to kill them because there's not anything in this whole deck that is going to like wipe all of their creatures off the board. I highly, highly doubt that they have a board wipe. So now we're just going to keep attacking each other with just ridiculous amounts of lifelink. I guess that's an 11-10 against a 13-2. Do they have any tricks here? They don't have any tricks here, so I actually just win this fight with a 13-2. So they gain a bunch of life, but I keep my creature on the board. They lose a creature. Seems good. Just get our Teyo ridiculously high. We could get another emblem off of Teyo and just let all our creatures die over and over. But I don't really think I want to do that. There's no reason to. The only thing that there's a point in attacking with is anything with an attack, trigger, or lifelink, which is 2 of my creatures. And I'm honestly not even worried about discard from them anymore because I'm at such a high life total that it doesn't matter if they chip in for 2 with Fel Spectre. So now I kind of just play however I want, but just never play anything that draws me a card. That is the most important part, because this game could very well come down to mill. Not even really worried about the Icy Manipulator always going off, but we might as well. Gormand coming on in with the Angelic Exaltation. Oh, I forgot to move my Nettle Cyst back. So yeah, that does mean it's a good attack. It's a fine attack here, so I'll just take it. No blocks. I gain more than that much life every turn, so it's fine. Yeah, I'm getting sloppy here.
You're stronger than you know.
Get that lifelink in there, get that Pegasus. Cast the Pegasus, and we'll actually move the Nettle Cyst around this time. We have so many Pegasi now that we can throw it on something that is just definitely going to block well enough through the Angelic Exaltation, rather than throwing it onto 2 damage to us a turn. That's fine. We outpace that in life gain pretty massively.
But underneath, I'm just a normal diabolist.
But there's a Davriel. The uncommon one, not the rare one. The rare one's got to be pretty low in their deck. They have 6 cards left. Maybe I hold on to these cards just to gain some life here. Just like, might as well. Yeah, there's no reason to ultimate here, so let's just get another lumber dude.
Move the line.
What is that? Target opponent reveals their hand. Oh, I've got hexproof, so whatever. Ooh, I forgot to move my life gain around. Well, I can still just send that in, bring it back from the grave if it dies. Playing super sloppy here, but we're at 60 life. We got the life to be sloppy. Plus, it's just the super casual format. Yeah, gain 2 life this turn. Cool. Cast the Pegasus. And they scoop them up. I guess they see that they're going to mill out before I am. And they've only got 5 more turns left. and they're over it. 5 cards left in deck. I've got 6 cards left in deck. We're at 61 life. If I remember to move my Nettle Cyst around, we're going to gain another like 14 life a turn. I've got the Icy Manipulator if any crazy creature comes down. Yeah, they've got no way to kill me here. And I suppose their deck has no way to stop them from milling themselves, which I wouldn't expect a lot of these Jumpstart decks to have something like that. So that's going to close that game out after a very long battle where we both cast multiple Planeswalkers. I cast 2 Teyos. They cast Sarah the Benevolent, got the emblem, and cast a Davriel there. So let's grab our second rare prize. Another Nether Spirit. I actually already got one of these. It's kind of crazy to get 2 of the same rare so quickly here. This is only my second run of Jumpstart Historic Horizons, so I don't know what the odds are of that, but this is a pretty cool rare. Pretty fun rare. Seems like a really annoying card to play around with in Limited because it just keeps coming back from the graveyard as long as it's the only thing in there. But really cool artwork, really fun effect there. 4 walls and a roof won't provide safety from that which is buried. Really cool flavor text too. And at the end of these historic events, I always like to look in the deck, see if I missed anything, see if there's anything I didn't draw or see that is cool. I think it's highly unlikely here because we drew basically our whole deck. Yeah, I think pretty much the only card I didn't see was Mirror Enforcer, which is a fantastic card. I wouldn't be surprised if this sees some historic play in some sort of aggressive artifact-based affinity-style decks at some point. Same with the Nettle Cyst. This card is an absolute house. I played it in my Psy Master Thopterist Historic Brawl deck. That video either went up yesterday or will be going up tomorrow, so take a look at that if you want to see the Nettle Cyst in action, but it is destructively powerful in an artifact-based deck, and I guess you did see it in action last game, just making our lifelinker absolutely massive to keep us in that game there, so pretty nice deck here all around. Really fun stuff with the artifact-themed deck. I also really like the life gain in your artifact decks. That was another thing that that the artifacts in Esper on Shards of Alara did a little bit of. There were cards like Filigree Angel, where you could gain like 3 life for each artifact you had, or something insane like that. But it was like an 8 mana card, but that was super fun. So yeah, I like dabbling in a little bit of life gain with my artifacts, such as with the life-linking Arcbound Mouser, the Chrome Courier, gaining life if you draw an artifact off of it, some stuff like that. So really fun deck. Highly recommend both Teyo and In the Machine. And Teyo in the Machine just sounds like a sounds like a cool little short movie. Maybe part of the Netflix show coming up for Magic. But that is going to end today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing it. If you want to see more of these videos, just make sure to like, comment, subscribe. That'll let the YouTube algorithm know you're enjoying them and want to get recommended more. And I'll see you all again very soon for some more Magic Arena. Thank you.